What's up, dudes? This is Vitus3 back here with another video for you, and today we're doing a showcase. We're doing another record showcase, and I'm pretty excited about this one because it is my favorite metal genre, as you can tell by the fucking posters and my shirts. I got an Emperor and the Nightside Eclipse. I've had this shirt for actually now 3 years, and I got this brand new Bathory hoodie. I would think I wore it in the other showcase that I did. But we are going to be talking about the black metal records I have in my collection. As always, this is going to be raw, unedited, unfiltered, unprepared, just like how black metal sounds. As always, CDs are first. So, enough of that introduction. Let's get right into it. So, if we're starting off with CDs, oh, yeah, by the way, I have to mention, I'm doing this in chronological order. Oh, hey, my lighting looks terrible. Here, that's better. I was wondering why I was looking so dark. Anyways, chronological order, so we're doing in like the order of releases. And if we're doing that and a CDs are first, this might spark some controversy, but I don't care. I'll always call this album black metal because they were still black metal at this time, and I still count them. Anyways, it is Midian by Cradle of Filth. This is definitely a more transitional period from Cradle of Filth's 90s black metal days. Though I do find this to be black metal still to this day. And I'm assuming because like when you look at it, a lot of black metal bands are going under changes in the early 2000s. And for a band that released nothing but great black metal albums, Cradle of Filth pretty much did the same. So they pretty much took their more gothic sign but amplified it. So extreme gothic metal, but I would still count this as black metal. It's a fucking great album. And of course, when you get when you get Doug from Hellraiser, they got Pinhead to be on this album, dude. And if that's not metal, I don't know what metal is. All right, we're moving on to the more Cradle of Filth. We have Damnation in a Day, which at this point the black metal in Cradle of Filth was starting to dwindle down. However, I still think that they stopped being fully black metal maybe around Amphetamine. I think Amphetamine was the last black metal album that they did. Then they moved on to just be an extreme gothic band. But holy fuck, this is an amazing album. This came out in 2003. This was a Yule present from one of my good friends. Shout out to her for the Christmas of 2024. It's green, it's beautiful, it's perfect. And if you guys want to know a really, really fun fact, uh, I think the top single from this album, Babylon AD, this became my top listened to song. No, it was one of my top most listened to songs of 2024. Cradle Filter has a really big meaning to me. I mean, they were one of my favorite bands. They got me through senior year in high school, so I love I love Cradle. I'll always consider them black metal. Thank you, Cradle. Now let's jump forward for about maybe a couple years until we have Belphegor, Bondage Goat Zombie, which I say is arguably just as a classic in the Belphegor discography, just as Lucifer and Cestus. Everything that Belphegor is, black metal, black and death metal, horny, it's all right here. You get Satanism and bondage, and you get Bondage Goat Zombie. I think it's very I also think it's kind of underrated because when people look to this album, they think of Stigma Diabolicum or the title track, uh, or Sex Dictator Lucifer. But I think you got to really look at the deep dives for this album, like Justine Covered in Blood or Soaked in Blood. That is a really great album. They were able to make a song about bloody sex emotional, which you don't really see that a lot in Belphegor songs. Actually, I take that back because when you listen to Belphegor, riffs are very emotional. It's a classic album, and I'm so disappointed in myself for dropping it and breaking the jewel case. Sorry, Belphegor. I wish the tour with Incantation would come near one of my cities, but that is completely okay. Alright, moving on. This album, I think, covers three genres, and that is Midnight Satanic Royalty, which is approaching its, 15th year anniversary? When at 15? Yeah. Hell's Heroes are gonna do a set of this, which I'm really excited for. This is a just take a look at that. It opens up. It has the main LP. It has a demo, and it actually has a DVD where like Anthony just pretty much talks about the production of the album. Went to like Hell's Heroes, so you see J Dog and everyone. He's just chilling there talking to him. It's on YouTube. However, I think it's a little bit more special when it's on a DVD and you can own it. And it actually came with a really cool patch. So yeah, but I do think that Satanic Royalty or just Midnight overall covers three genres: black metal, thrash metal, and speed metal. All three of those genres can be found on this album. It literally sounds like, well, it's definitely very Motorhead inspired. It's very Venom inspired. But most of all, it's midnight and it's beautiful. Anthenar, if you're listening, I love you. All right. Now moving on with our last CD. Actually, to be honest, I really can't say anything about this album. I found this at one of our local record stores, and this is The Black Sorcery. I never had a chance to listen to this. I've always just been so busy. But the Wolven Dead Degrade. So I guess this is a deep dive. Guys, I have not heard of this band ever before picking up this album because sometimes I roll the dice like that. I'll just find an album that looks cool, and of course I'll do some research on Metal Archives, and these guys seem pretty legit. These guys are from New England. If you've listened to the album before, tell me how it is. Is it any good? All right. And now we're gonna be moving into our records, which I'm the most excited for, which I'm the most excited about because it's theoretically the meat and potatoes of my record collection. Seriously, when I took all my records out of my shelf shrinks by nearly half. All right, chronological order. We're going all the way to 1981, and you already know what I'm gonna fucking say. It's Venom, Welcome to Hell. The first black metal album ever released ever. That's not a question. It didn't come from no damn Bathory, even though, funny enough, Bathory being my favorite band. And Bathory perfected black metal, but Venom created it. And I'm tired of people thinking that they didn't. Because look at that. If that's not black metal, then I don't know what is. And here I'm gonna shut down the argument right now. See, like, so people say that Venom isn't black metal because they say, oh, it's more speed metal, or oh, it's a thrash record. Okay, by that logic, they are saying that it's not black metal because it doesn't sound like the black metal that came in the 90s. So if I were to take, like, the first airplane that ever been built, it's just like saying that's not an airplane because it doesn't look like a Boeing 737. 747. It doesn't look like an airplane of today, which is just bullshit. Because when you listen to this, this is like the truest black metal you could find. Because the first of everything is oftentimes the best. This is um I do not know when this was pressed. I had this ordered. It's from Neat Records. Ah, here we go. 2019 pressing. So not an original, but it still proves a point. Venom, Welcome to Hell, the genesis of us all. But what really gave us all definition was their sophomore album, and I would probably say one of the, if not the most important metal album, period. And that is Venom Black Metal. Okay, just exclude the fact that it has black metal, but you could find the origins of death, thrash, black, any extreme genre, you could find it in here. These are I don't know when this was pressed. 2019. I guess it was a series of 2019. And I guess I don't know if all the Venom albums have this Japanese right here, but it looks really fucking cool. Dude, this is sacred. This is probably one of the most sacred metal albums. Period. If this album was not released, there would probably be no extreme metal. There would probably or extreme metal would sound completely different. Venom Black Metal. This is our origin. So if you are a black metal fan, you owe it all to this album. Hail Venom. Ugh. Buckle in. I'm sorry, my voice is just killing me. but I'm gonna pull through. All right, still in 1982, and yes, this is gonna cause a debate, but I'm gonna shut it down. It is just as black metal as Venom or as Darkthrone, primarily, probably even more black metal than the Norwegian guys, and that is the first Merciful Fate EP. EP. This is real. This is a fucking sick EP. And it is black metal. That is a hill I will die on. Merciful Fate is a black metal band, or at least the first 3 releases were, and this being the first of them. And it's kind of just powerful to think of like that this came out shortly after Venom's EP. Oh, this is a 2020 pressing mini album 4-3. Yeah, this is really classic. It's just as a classic, or should be as classic as, Melissa or Don't Break the Oath. Even though it's not really talked about as much, and this album primarily isn't on like any streaming, which, I mean, physical media is tons, a tremendous amount of times better as than streaming. But this is aggressive, it's dark, it's satanic, it has everything. It has everything that black metal has to offer, or at least early black metal, because just the first Merciful Fate EP. You should go listen to it. Oh, here we go. We have 2 Merciful Fate things back to back. Oh no, wait, hang on. Melissa, one of the most evil sounding albums ever. Again, this is classic black metal. Oh my gosh. Oh, if you guys were to know me in like sophomore year in high school, um, I've always been a big Merciful Fate guy, but oh my god, the only, or oh my gosh, gods, excuse me, the only album I would listen to would just be these 2 Merciful Fate records. I mean, you know what's coming next, and King Diamond. This is just, it's haunting, it's evil, and it is a 2020 pressing. I guess they did a lot of repressings in 2020. 1983, probably it has to be one of the greatest metal albums released in 1983. It's dark, it's fast, it's satanic, it's speedy, but it's black metal. Melissa, buy it. And R.I.P. Melissa. Alright, here we go. This is probably my 3rd or 4th favorite album ever. And you probably know what I'm talking about if you saw the Battle Vest video. We got Don't Break the Oath, 1984. Holy fuck. Dude, this is legit a spawn of malevolence. This was summoned from hell itself. I don't believe in hell, but like, this is probably where it came from. Or at least hell in the Hell. The double L hell. Anyways. Whoa, holy, is this is this a 2020 person? Yeah, 2020 Metal Blade Records. Dude. I don't know what to say. This is also very sacred, and it's definitely one of my most favorite and most it's definitely one of my favorite records ever. Not just in metal, just overall perfect. The musicianship is perfect. If you listen to the riffs and if you listen to the vocals, the musicality is just beautiful. It's perfect. And you can definitely tell this is where like the more symphonic black metals came from, Emperor, Cradle of Filth. This is pretty much where, I mean, a lot of black metal found this way. But yeah, this is definitely representation of the more symphonic black metal genres. Yes. All the songs are great. There is not a bad song on this record. It's beautiful. I really do not know what to say. Merciful Fate, Don't Break the Oath. Now here we go. You probably know what this is. You probably know what's coming. And that because it's Bathory! The debut album from 1984. Of course, they didn't just release this like on a whim. They had like a couple songs on the Scandinavian Metal Attack, which featured Oz and Rat, but Bathory being probably the best one off that compilation. And this is what follows shortly after, and is probably one of the most iconic metal album icons covers just ever. All the songs are great. And this is what perfected the black metal sound that was emerging out of the early 80s. Because of course you had Venom, and then you had Hellhammer, then you had Merciful Fate, but Bathory took all of that, slammed it, slammed it into the ground, purified it, and this is what became black metal. Perfection of black metal, and turned it into the movement to follow. I can go on and on about how much I love this record. I've been listening to this ever since 7th grade, and it just keeps getting better. Day by day, day by day, day by day, year by year, listen by listen, it just gets better. It's fast, it's evil sounding. It's one of the greatest black metal albums of all time. A lot of people say it's the best, which it's not my opinion that I have, but I agree. Like, does that make sense? Like, I can get behind it hella. The this Bathory album, I mean, all the Bathory albums, it really made an impression on me. I actually have this goat. I can't really show. I don't really want to show you show it on camera, but I do actually have the Bathory goat, whose official name was Yol Yedin. I forgot. It's a yellow goat in Swedish. That is a record I actually really want to get because the original. If you guys don't know, the goat had a different design. It's like this part was extended, and it was actually printed in yellow. It was supposed to be gold, but it came out in yellow, and that is one thing that I would really love to have in my record collection because this is more or less remastered or just like reproduced, remastered, yeah. But it still sounds so sick. Bathory debut album. Go buy it, or you're just a fucking poser. Alright, here we go. This is probably the heaviest record I had. And not just musicalities, because it's really fucking heavy. And that is Celtic Frost, Morbid Tales. That can't oh my god. See, we gotta get one thing clear. Hellhammer never became Celtic Frost. They didn't just change their name, they're two different bands. However, I see this one as a more transitional period from Hellhammer into what would become Celtic Frost. Because this is very Hellhammery, and rightfully so. See, I feel like this is Venom, Discharge, a lot of, but maybe a little bit more. I'm not gonna outright say this is gothic metal because Celtic Frost hasn't really gotten to that point yet. However, you can definitely hear like gothic influences. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like Tom G. Warrior. Everybody, they liked goth bands. Like, what? Like, didn't Tom say Susie? Susie and the Banshees? This is one heavy motherfucker. Fucking Nocturnal Fear, Dethroned Emperor, Dethroned Emperor, excuse me. My favorite one is Vision of Morality. Mortality. No? Well, yeah, Mortality. I always mispronounce that. Visions of Mortality. Dude, it's a lifesaver. It's beautiful. It's heavy. It's dark. And it did a lot for black metal. Personally, my big four of black metal will always be Venom, Bathory, Hellhammer, and Merciful Fate. For a while, I used to say Celtic Frost, but given the direction that Celtic Frost went from Pandemonium onwards, yeah, I had to give that to Hellhammer. I mean, this came with two records. This particular record, I found this in a record store in. No, it technically wasn't a record store. It was just a department store that had records in it. But they knew what they were doing with their metal section. I don't know when this was released or repressed, but this has like a book. It came with like 3 posters, 2 records. It's big and it's beautiful. Celtic Frost, Hail, and Rip Martin. Alright, we'll stick it on with the theme of 1984. And yes, I will call this one a black metal album. Or a black metal EP, and that's because it's Sentence of Death. Yes, Destruction is a thrash band, but when you listen to the early materials, like this one and the one we're going to talk about in a second, this is definitely like early black metal material. A lot of the Teutonic thrash bands started off as black metal bands. Creator, their first album, Sodom, obviously their first two releases, and maybe their demo too. And Destruction is no different. Probably the only thrash band from Germany that wasn't black metal to begin with was Tankard. High Roller Records, I found this at Hit Records in Columbia, Missouri, so thank you to them. A couple of these albums came from there too. This was a 2022 repressing and has like an alternative artwork on it because the original artwork, or at least the ones you could see on like streaming and shit, this is them standing up. But I always loved this picture of them just hanging out with the grave, and I have always loved the look of Destruction. Because like if every black metal band on Earth were to look like that, I'd be happy with it. Just fuck, they had it down, man. And black metal had just become a movement, like 1 month prior to this becoming, or 1 month prior to this conception. Fuck. It's heavy, it's fast, it's dark. It's black metal. Sense of Death by Destruction. Hail the gods. Alright, 1985. Here we go. This is probably. Oh, I don't know. Let's just fucking talk about it. It's Bathory the Return. Now, a lot of people seem to gripe about the production of this, but I think this is one of the best produced black metal albums ever. Because black metal, let's be honest, black metal should not be a clean produced thing. You know, it should be dirty, it should be raunchy, it should be lo-fi, and this has it down to a fucking capital T, man. And what's cool is what cool is that it doesn't have like a track list. It has a poem with all the titles of the songs in them. And I would like to read it to you. When the sacred oath is broken and the lie is spoken out loud, when the angel is possessed and the virgin has stolen her pride, when the flame of love and pureness have turned to bestial lust, when the walls of gold in heaven close and then turn to dust, I threw the then in there. When the wind of mayhem whispers through the veil of tears and death, when the golden river is empty and the sadistic tear the angel's flesh, when the son of the damned strides the earth and the rite of darkness is done, when the revelation of doom comes closer and the battle just begun, when the beauty is born for beauty and the total destruction draws near, when the disciples under the sign of the black mark gathers and reap the evil is here. And the reap of evil is here. Fuck. Then the clouds of death shall gather. Then the night shall always burn. Then the ancient prediction comes true. And the bells of fate chime. The return. That's all I'm gonna say about this album. Go listen to it. And that was fucking badass. Alright, you mentioned. Alright. Infernal Overkill. Yes, I do think that this is the last black metal or last purely or black adjacent album that Destruction released. And by all means, when you listen to it, listen to the vocals, listen to the instrumentation. Instrumentation is a black metal record. It's the first wave black metal record. Just look at those fucking guys. Oh, this came with a poster, as you can see right there, hopefully. High Roller Records, which is just a beautiful place. Oh my god, I want so many of those records, but I'd probably have to take out a loan for that. Originally released by Steamhammer in 1985. Thrash Attack is dedicated to Malin Gosh. And special thanks to Horst Müller. Oh, here we go. 2017. I mean, that's the date that I'm seeing here. And I'm not seeing. Oh, no, 2022. I'm a dumbass. This is just a beautiful record. Black metal, thrash metal. It's just a beautiful record. It's heavy, it's thrashy, it's dark, and it's evil. Primarily, it's evil. And it's a lo fi production. Makes it even better. Destruction, Infernal Overkill. What's the next? Oh, here we go. We're turning the clock a little bit. And now I have something to say about this record, and that is Vulcano Bloody Vengeance. See, I do like a lot of the Brazilian bands. Brazilian black metal bands, to be precise, you know. Mr. Fur, Goat, what all the Brazilian, like, war bands. Sarcophago, Sepultura. But this album is my favorite album out of Brazil ever. I love Angel's vocals on this one. A lot of people like to call this thrash, which definitely like a lot of people call this thrash, which I see no problem with. But primarily at its core, it is black metal. It is definitely, and this actually came out before Sepultura, before Sarcophago's debut. This predates Sarcophago, but Sarcophago at this time had demos. But this was actually this is an LP, I think. Another, yeah, as I said, High Roller Records. This was a 2024 reissuing, and I found this in Hit Records, Columbia, Missouri. So I always have to thank them. And you know what? It's like it was one of those things where I was just digging through the record selection. And I found this, and I figured, oh my god, like I'm never gonna find this again. So it came home with me, put it immediately on the player, and I was happy, and I still am happy. This is very, very underrated. It is a very underrated record because when people turn their attention to Brazil, you know, it's always Sepultura and Sarcophago, but or Holocausto. But Volcano, man, you have to listen to Volcano. My favorite record off of or my favorite song off of this one has to be Incubus, and I love the vocals. See, all right, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant here, right here. I love the more guttural. I mean, I love first wave black metal vocals. You know, doesn't matter if it's Quorthon or Tom G or or Kronos, but I love the guttural side of early black metal vocals, which you could definitely that is was definitely carried into like early death metal with Chuck and David. You know, like okay, see all right. Imagine Chuck's vocals on Scream Bloody Gore and Leprosy. Think of David Vince's vocals on Altars of Madness. That you know how it's like I don't know how to say it. It's more wide instead of like bands like Cannibal Corpse or Incantation where it's all their vocals, Chuck and David, were more ah, ah. That is really cringe. But I'm trying to explain best I can. That can be found in people's vocals, such as Angels from Volcano, and I freaking love it. Volcano. But we're gonna stay in Brazil for just a little bit longer, and that's because INRI by fucking Sarcophago. This is where the war metal subgenre finds its origin. I'm not saying this is war metal, even though a lot of people like to call it war metal. It's a black metal one. Even though they call it death metal, and they have a song legit called Death Thrash, which primarily, I wonder where that comes from, because it's very thrashy. I mean, after all, DD Crazy's wearing a Sodom shirt on there, so they had to be inspired by thrash at some point. Cucamello Records is a 2017 printing, and it took a long ass time to get here. I mean, duh, I think it had to have come from Brazil itself, which I see no problem with. See, I mean, what was it like Chris Thrash said? If it doesn't take 17 weeks to get to you, is it really metal? Or something like that. But this is very just a monumental album. It inspired so many. All the Norwegian dudes that people are nowadays are making fun of, they all looked up to this. I look up to this. It's it is really, really intense. I would say it's kind of like in a sense of intensity, it's probably a little bit higher than Hellhammer. And Hellhammer was really fucking intense. So if I say that, this is saying a lot. And it is a staple point. And Sarcophago has a really, really weird history. Or has like a really weird consistency, if that makes sense. Cause like they started off with like black thrash death or like black death and thrash, right? Primarily black metal though. Then they went on to rotting. Then they went full death metal with the laws. Then war metal with hate. But if you were looking for some lo-fi, aggressive, satanic, evil sounding head-crushing fucking black metal. And it doesn't matter what block of metal that you like. It doesn't matter if you're a full corpse-painted, Nazgul armor-wearing black metal fan, or if you are a blue-on-blue, white t-shirt wearing thrash metal fan, or if you're a big boot, four-side long sleeve, camel pant wearing death metal fan, this is the album for you. If you want some head-splittingly heavy shit, look no further to Brazil than Sarcophago. Whew! I've never been more excited to talk about Brazil, but I think I'm more excited to talk about this. Because here in my hand, ladies and gentlemen, I say, is the greatest black metal album to ever be released. And now let me explain. This is everything that black metal is. Not just in a musical standpoint, but in a moral standpoint, a value standpoint, a production standpoint. Everything that black metal is, should be, stands for, under the sign of the black mark. Come on. It is cold and hot at the same time. It is claustrophobic, it's nocturnal, it's evil. It's head-splittingly devastating. And I know that there are tons of fucking black metal in the world. It doesn't matter if you are a war metal fan with camo pants and a gas mask. It doesn't matter if you're a true Norwegian dude with corpse paint. It doesn't matter where you come from. If you are not a black metal fan and haven't listened to this, what's wrong with you? And there's nothing bad about this record either. Even all the bad stuff, like the bad production, that makes it great. It's twisted, it's perverted, it's dark, it's evil. It's cold. It's a blizzard in a forest fire. That's how I can describe it. The guitars sound like chainsaws. The drums just crack open your head. This is like, imagine a war against whatever, but you have demonic weapons. That's what it feels like listening to this album. And this guy is your commander, this big, buff, goat-looking dude, which by the end of the year, I hope I look like under the sign of the black mark. It's monumental. And this is I think this is where primarily the Norwegian black metal sound came from. Because once upon a time, like, true Norwegian black metal was a real genre of black metal at one point. Before it became the staple point because of how infamous the events in Norway happened in the 90s, it used to be its own genre. Because it seemed to mix, like, bands Celtic Frost, Bathory, Tormentor, Mortuary Drape. And it kind of had the mixture of death metal coming out at the time. Morbid Angel, Deicide, Napalm Death. And you combine those two things together, it kind of... And then you get true Norwegian black metal. However, the sound of the second wave, because there is a difference between first and second wave, both in, like, sound and look, I think the second wave primarily found its way right here. And of course, like, doesn't matter. Oh yeah, let's go back to the analogy. It doesn't matter if you're a camo pant, gas mask wearing war metal fan. It doesn't matter if you're a borderline speed metal first wave black metal fan. It doesn't matter if you're a true Norwegian dude who lives in Black Shark and corpse painted. This is the album for you. If you call yourself black metal, this album is for you. Hail and Rip Quorthon. Oh, but I just keep getting more and more excited that my blood pressure is gonna just go right through the roof. And here is my favorite Bathory album ever. Blood, Fire, Death. Oh my god! Like, okay, I know if you guys saw, like, my welcome video, like my introduction video, I said that this has everything that Bathory is. It is thrash, it is black metal, it is Viking metal. This is I would say this is the first Viking metal album ever. when you look at it from a certain point of view, even though Hammerheart came and primarily invented Hammerheart, but Viking metal finds its origins here. And also, like, when Bathory dabbled in, like, thrash metal with Requiem and Octagon, like, there is no doubt hella thrasher riffs here with, like, the Golden Walls of Heaven, Holocaust. It is thrash. Those are thrashy ass riffs, but I would not call this one a thrash metal album, though I know there's some of you that do. I'm looking at one guy in particular. Um, that's just fucking black metal. This is epic black metal. Definitely a very, very, very strong influence on the later Norwegian scene when a lot of the Norwegian bands started forsaking Satanism for paganism, which is a good choice, by the way. Uh, it can be found in here. Like I said, black metal, thrash metal, Viking metal, Bathory metal. Me like, you should like too. Blood, Fire, Death. First wave, but that's just like how I like it. Sorry, they kind of slanted over a little bit. Um, you know what? We have entered the second wave of black metal. And technically, this isn't an album, more or less a compilation, but I call it an album either way, and that is Beherit, the Oath of Black Blood. See, this is probably the only war, and this is the only war metal album that I have in my collection so far. And oh my gosh, this is a very different sound than what was heard on Drawing Down the Moon. This is pure fucking like blasphemy and sarcophago worship. This is bestial black metal. All the songs are good. It's just a good compilation album. It's probably the best compilation in black metal, or at least one of them. I love the cover. I love the artwork for war metal albums. It's like you get like, and it's classic. You get like the black and white art. You have your red logo and your red album title, and then there you go. You get an album. Side one, side two, Metal of Death. I mean, like, I also found this at Hit Records. Uh, when was this pressed? 2024. I am super, super glad that I found this. I, I love it. Finnish black metal is really, it's really, really good. And this is only proof of it. Beherit the Oath of Black Blood. Buy it. If you can, obviously. Now here we go. This is actually my most recent pickup, actually. I got it from Hell's Headbangers. So thank you to these guys. Or thank you to Hell's Headbangers. And also thank you to Immortal because it's a diabolical full moon masochism. Oh my gosh. Dude, this Immortal has several different sounds, but I mean they started off as a death metal band. Have you heard the Immortal demo? Oh my god, that is pure death metal. However, they kind of forsook that direction and went in a black metal direction, which I'm super glad that they did. Because holy crap. Immortal has no bad albums. Even after Abat Doom Occultica left the band, they still were pretty consistent, but holy crap, this is a monolith. And oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say about this record. It's cold, it's grim. I would say this is the definition of true Norwegian black metal. And that's saying a lot in it. What was it? Diabolical Full Mysticism was recorded in Greg Hallen Studios, April 92. Engineered by Erik Hundvin. Hundvin. Produced by Immortal. Go listen. You know what? I challenge you guys. If you have time this upcoming week, and by the way, this is going to be the album of the week. Just saying. Yeah, album of the week for this coming week, Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism. But if you guys get a chance, I implore you guys to go listen to all of the Immortal records because they're so tight. But you should start off with this one, or you can start off with the demos too, because the demos are fucking awesome. Anyways, this is cold, it's evil, it's grim. But the thing with Immortals that they were never really satanic. Sure, they talk about evil and demons, but they weren't like worshiping the demons. They were like, or not even the demons mentioned weren't even Satan. The classic period of I almost said Motorhead of Immortal. It is it's beautiful. Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism. Immortal's one of my favorite bands. Period. My second favorite black metal band ever. Just go listen. Just pause this video. Here. How about this? Pause this video. Go listen to the record. Come back so you have enough time to watch me talk about Under a Funeral Moon, which is probably my favorite Dark Throne album. Is my favorite Dark Throne album. The production is what sells it on this. I love the riffs. I love Nocturnal Culto's voice, but it's the production that gets this. Oh my! Every black metal album should sound like this. It's a true Norwegian black metal. This is a Peacefield repressing. Uh, it doesn't say when it was reprinted, repressed. I'm sorry. I'm kind of losing my mind. I'm getting too excited talking about black metal. Holy crap! That's all I can say is just holy crap. It's dark, it's evil, it's perfect for fucking winter time. I mean, all black metal's perfect year round, but primarily these guys are its most powerful when it's based upon the environment. Wintertime. It's just iconic, and primarily the whole stereotype of, black metal in the woods comes from Darkthrone. Because who else was really doing that at the time? The songs are amazing. The riffs are cool. They're headbangable too. I think they're a little bit more headbangable on A Blaze in the Northern Sky. However, just go listen to this, please. Under a Funeral Moon. Do I really need to say? I don't even know if I'm going to talk about this one. I'm just going to hold it up. We all nod our heads in agreement, and then we go talk about the next one. Dissections of Somberlane. Melodic black metal. Okay. Swedish melodic or Swedish death metal meets Norwegian black metal. It's a tribute to Euronymous. And it becomes peak. 2022 reprising. The Somberland, everybody. Fucking just absolute music. It's probably the best musicality of all these bands. I mean, it's one thing to write like a good headbanging evil riff, but when there's good musicality behind it, it makes it a lot better. Okay, here we go. Probably the most iconic album cover, well, at least has to be one of them. Transylvanian Hunger. This is where all of those weird, depressing, suicidal black metal guys turn their attentions to. It's a beautiful record. It's overplayed. Yes, I'll agree. I mean, the title track is, at least. I mean, it's one of the most iconic black metal riffs ever. Probably has to be Freezing Moon, then Transylvanian Hunger. Transylvanian Hunger was recorded in November and December 1993. Darkthrone is for all the evil in man. Peaceville. 2024 present. Varg, something that is overlooked is that Varg actually wrote a lot of the lyrics on this album, which is kind of weird because, I mean, of course, the songs could have been written like before he murdered Euronymous, and Darkthrone could have just had them. All right, enough about Varg. Let's talk about the songs. Even if you're not a black metal fan, hell, I mean, nowadays you don't even have to be a metal fan. You probably heard Transylvanian Hunger sometime, or at least seen a T-shirt on someone. I wasn't probably a metalhead. Anyways, but sure, it's overplayed, but you really have to look to the other songs in here, like Overfjella genom tårna, Skald av Satans sol, Soler till det fjärne. I'm just gonna name off all the songs at this point. Groven tåke hemmens kärle, En holm med flesk och mjöd. My Norwegian sucks. But I think it's better when you listen to the album in its entirety. I really do think that's the better way to enjoy this album. Any album, really. Because there are some goodies on here. Don't just listen to the. Yes, I know it's good, but don't just listen to the title track. It's an album of magnificence and vampirism. So, Transylvanian Hunger. So cold. Alright. Now, here is a goodie for you guys. And I'm kind of excited I'm really excited to talk about this one. The Niflheim debut. Oh my gosh. We're gonna go back to this analogy that I said about like Sarcophago and Bathory. It does not matter who you are. If you are a white battle vest wearing, mustache wearing, trad metal guy, Niflheim is for you. If you are a speed metal fan with nothing but studs on your body, this is the album for you. If you're a black metal fan, doesn't matter if you're first wave or corpse painted while listening to the first wave like me, this is for you. If you're a death fan, Niflheim. If you're a war fan, Niflheim. If you're a grindcore fan, Niflheim. If you're a hardcore fan, get the fuck out. This album is for you. Oh my gosh. Just look at these guys. We are all posers compared to these guys. It does not matter. It does not matter how metal you are. It doesn't matter how long you've been a metalhead. You are always going to be a poser. I'm always going to be a poser compared to Niflheim. The Iron Maiden twins, the Bröderna Hårdrock, and the Swedish as they were called, right? 2024 pressing. See, I have a friend in the heavy metal group chat that I'm in, which he calls albums like this post first wave, which I didn't really ask anything about it, but from what I can gather, it is like a first wave style black metal played in the second wave. Because by all accounts, this is a second wave band. Because second wave isn't just musicality, it's when it came out too. Fuck, but all of the songs are good. My personal favorite song, and possibly a lot of your guys' favorite songs too, Sodomizer. Holy crap, that thing is dark, evil, aggressive. It's just a fucking aggressive, and it's fucking amazing. So, if you're in the mood for some tasty black thrash, black and speed, just black metal, Niflheim. Once again, I need to get a physique like this dude's. And it will be soon, I promise. Oh, here we go. We have Emperor, the anthems to the Welkin at dusk. I do not have, surprisingly, in the Nightside Eclipse in my collection. However, this album is definitely a new direction for Emperor because it doesn't sound anything like their demos. They're brilliant demos, by the way, or they're even more brilliant LP. But it doesn't mean anything because this is still a magnificent record. It's a lot more. The songs are a lot longer. It's a very more like experimental. Of course, it still has like the symphonic edge to it, or always the symphonic like grasp it has. However, it is a lot more experimental, if that makes sense. Oh man, like I remember listening to Thus Spake the Night Spirit when I was like 12, and I was just like I was scared of it, guys. I wasn't even into black metal at then. I was like into bands like Black Sabbath, Metallica, Slayer, and that. But oh my gosh, fucking Emperor performs sophisticated black metal art exclusively. And honestly, that's the best way to describe Emperor, and that's the best way to describe this album. I think my favorite song off of this has to be "With Strength I Burn." It's excellent. This album's excellent. Moving on. Oh, here you go. We have now. We have Cradle of Filth, Cruelty, and the Beast, which is my favorite Cradle of Filth album. If you can't fucking tell, here I have the CD of it. I have a hoodie of it, and I have the flag of it. This album is just amazing. It is symphonic black metal, so don't let anybody try to gaslight you. It's a concept album of Elizabeth Bathory, which I don't really know what the story is about because I need to read the lyrics again. But it is based upon Elizabeth Bathory. If you don't know who Elizabeth Bathory is, She was a serial killer Hungarian countess from like the 1500s. And a lot of black metal bands, a lot of metal bands, they fantasize about her. Not in a weird like way. It's a metal fucking subject. And the musicality on here, it's excellent. I fucking love the musicality here. The riffs are sick. Actually, a fun fact, the Twisted Nails of Faith right here, that became my number one listen to song of 2024. I love that song so much, dude. Um, I really don't know what to say. It's black metal, it's symphonic black metal, it's gothic black metal, and it's just beautiful. Cruelty and the Beast. So, unfortunately, we have come to our last album for today. I know, it's so sad. And actually, it takes a really big gap from the 1998 to right when this one was released, 2001. But it still has, I mean, it's a compilation of demos and rehearsals. Abigail, Grotesque Nightmare, Hit Records. I got this for 20 bucks. And what's cool is that it's primarily just like a lot of this is records. Or a lot of it's demos actually. They have Sodom and Bathory demos. They have I don't even know what to say. Japan knows what they're doing when it comes to black metal. And Abigail's fucking proof. I don't know what to say. I really need to listen to this one again. It's been a second. It's it's Abigail. You know. Go listen to it if you don't know who Abigail is. Well, I think that's all. And I think that's it. I know this video was long, and I'm probably just ranting. I sound like a broken record, huh? But if you made it to the end of the video, thank you. And thanks for watching. And now tell me, if you collect black metal if you collect metal records and you have some black metal in there, tell me, what is your favorite black metal album that you own in your collection? Alright. My voice hurts, so I'm gonna go now. I've been Vitus Bathory, and you've been awesome. Remember, album of the week, Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism. And I'll see you next time. And until then, stay fucking metal. See you guys.